Alright guys, I was just thinking, so here in North Carolina we got red clay everywhere. It just rained, everything's a cakey mess. You know, and I already gotten some clay on my optic and my magazines and my light just because it's literally everywhere all over this range. So I have a little area over here. It's pretty much just become molding clay, if you can call it that. It was wet enough a while ago to where it was a puddle and it dried up. What if I drop my STACCATO CS in it? Isn't scientific. I don't really need to go down that rabbit hole, but if I dropped it in this shit, let's see what would happen. So what I'm gonna do, I got a loaded magazine in here. Load and make ready. Safety. Just got a holster for the time being. Let's come over here. So you can see where my footprints were. I mean, it's pretty nasty shit. So I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat this at all. Oh boy. It's in there. Just gonna pick it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk this over here. This was just a bad day for anybody. All right, guys. One more look. Isn't she pretty? STACCATO CS dropped in clay. Stand by. Locked open. Now I gotta clean her off. Woo! The reliability test. The reliability test on this pistol, I just did it as a spur of the moment. It just thunderstormed the night before. All the rain washed away. It's nearly 78 degrees, 80 degrees today. And here in North Carolina, we don't have dirt, we have clay. And I saw a bunch of clay that ran out and was sitting there, and I was stepping in it and literally just caking to the bottom of my shoes. I couldn't even wipe it off. And I said, you know what? This is a realistic test to where I could accidentally drop my pistol in this shit. And I wanted to see how it would perform. And if it failed pretty damn well, I probably wouldn't be standing here telling you that I'm very thoroughly impressed with this gun. But I dropped it on this face of the gun. It never got in the chamber here, but it ran through the magazine flawlessly. This is where I'm pissed off. So after I get back here, I find out that shit, the second test where I dropped it on both sides again without cleaning it, it doesn't exist. So you can either take my word for it, call me a liar, or whatever. It doesn't exist. What does exist is me walking back up to the camera and showing you the pistol where I said I ran out of water bottles to clean it and there was clay literally all over it. I still have a little bit of clay left on it. Still got to scrub off a little bit. It's in some crevices and areas, but for the most part, she's all cleaned up and she's ready to go. But with it literally caked on both sides, like it literally looked like just a blob of clay here and a blob of clay here. You could not tell this was a pistol. Just caked. And it was magazine inserted, round of the chamber, hammer cock, safety on. Condition 1 weapon. All I did was kind of weasel out a hole for my finger, kind of just knock some dirt off a little bit so I can see my sights, fired away. And she fired 6 or 7 shots reliably, well, and quickly. Then there was a malfunction. Looked at it slowly. I removed the magazine. Found out it was a failure to feed. All I did was knock her forward a little bit, put the magazine back in. She ran 2 more flawlessly. Had another malfunction. I looked at it again. Again, failure to feed. So without moving the magazine this time, I just hit the slide forward, and she figured, and then she finished her magazine and she locked the rear. I was ecstatic, guys. I couldn't even believe it. And we missed it all because I never hit record. I'm sorry. I guess maybe I'll just have to do it again when the conditions are perfect in that same scenario. So if I'm back there again at one point and it's rained and that clay is literally like you could pick it up and mold with it, I'll do it again for you. Until then, it's just kind of hearsay, I understand that. But there is the one video of me dropping it on the one side, just oops, dropped it in the clay, what happened? And it ran remarkably well. Alright guys, so I don't have enough water bottles, but here she is. I'll get her cleaned up when we get back to the house. But just so you're aware, this was 1,116 rounds. After my first range day, I lubed it once. She still feels pretty good. I lubed her once. I haven't lubed her since. And safeties are a little hard to manipulate. Very hard to manipulate. There we go. But yeah, I lubed her once since then. So I was at like a little over 100 rounds then. So give or take about 1,160, so about 16. So about a little over 1,000 rounds. No additional lube. And I think she did remarkably well with probably an unrealistic clay test. She does look sexy as hell. All muddied up though, that's for damn sure. That'd be a nice Cerakote job, what do you think?